How satisfied are you with creating posts? Why, mentioning AI at graduation can spark backlash from AI. Recent commencement ceremony show that bringing up artificial intelligence can provoke strong reactions, sometimes boos. Really, AI. Sometimes boos. What are the rest? If they're not all boos, then what, some cheering? Yay, AI! You think that there's graduates out there who are going into an unsteady job situation, cheering AI? Wow. If you thought government propaganda from humans was bad, wait to see the propaganda from the machines themselves. It's fucking awful. But like the surprised look that they have when people start booing, like these out of touch, like, you know, CEOs and people who are giving commencement addresses, you know, when they hear boos, they're like, wait a minute. That's why we need to remind them of things. That's why it's important if you see somebody who's rich and out of touch, just to remind them, walk up to them and say, hey, look, we don't like AI. They don't know that. We should tell them. From 67 to 46 to 91 to 69, like these are the temperature ranges for the day. So like at night, we're dealing with 40s, and look at that, 30s. And meanwhile, 87, the fluctuations, 91, 60s to the 60s, 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 70s, 50s, 40s. Like, what's going on? Not like we can get accurate weather forecasting anyway, because like they're cutting the funding for NOAA, and you know, what we have is limited because you have to buy an app to get accurate information. Like, oh, the information you get might not be accurate. You pay $13.99 a month, and like then you'll get you know, like that's what it's doing. They're dangling information and like making us you know, pay for these things that were normally just like free. You turn on the news. I can't turn on the news anymore. There's no like TV, right? Our cable is gone. So like that's not a thing. So what do? We go to the computer. Well, you don't have like the special thing, so you're not going to get the accurate. Well, that would be great in Tornado Alley, you know. It's like only rich people will get the information, and the rest of us will just like, I don't know. Maybe somebody like people can on the street corner sell information. Like, hey, buddy, I got some information here for you, you know? Like, you want to buy a watch? You want to buy some fucking weather forecasting? You know, that ain't right. And they already do that when you think about it. Spell check. When you go in to type something, you put somebody's name in, and it changes it to an object or something, and you're like, no, I meant that. That's already happening. So we know that every keystroke we make is monitored and checked in some way. And now they're going to start changing our words. I'm not being paranoid anymore, which is good, because like that kind of gets old, right? But I'm also not alone in thinking these things, which is a little scary. Welcome to the club. Come on in. The water's warm. Because we're all peeing ourselves. One of the things you should do if you collect old videotapes is to check them every once in a while. This one has got a bit of a problem. It's got some mildew or something on there. I don't know. Not too cool. So what you need to do is, if you want to continue to play them, is to maybe try to get that off. And the only way that I can imagine getting them off is to do something here, which this fella's going to do here. Ryan, he's going to put this VCR tape, this VHS tape into the VCR. VCR means video cassette recorder. VHS tape means video home system. I don't know what the fuck it means. Anyway, so let's this is how I clean the tapes. is that I just put them in the machine. An old machine. Take an old machine. This is an old machine. It's a good machine, but it's a mono machine, and I'm not using it. I'm just using it for rewinding and fast forwarding it. And now I'm just going to fast forward it through, and it's having trouble because tape is sticky. This is In Search Of that I taped from TV back in like 1990, which, you know, hey, it's not worth really saving, but I'm going to save it anyway because that's what we do here. Let's see what Ryan's doing. Ryan's got the blue screen. He's putting in Hocus Pocus. I think this is his, there's a channel of another fella, and he does VHS things. He'll play like whatever is not copyright. And so here we are. We're just going to let that do its thing, and then we'll look at it. And Ryan's also, what is he doing? He's fast forwarding it. I'm also fast forwarding my tape in here. So I'm fast forwarding a tape in the machine, and I'm watching a video of another VHS tape getting fast forwarded. Why? Because I'm trying to like do anything that makes me happy today. And really, this makes me happy.
Alright, that's it for fast forwarding, and now on to the rewinding to this tape. So let's move on, guys.
Okay, so like he's doing a good thing. This fella, Ryan, he's rewinding and fast forwarding tapes just to get them loose and to check them and to make sure that they're okay. And this is what he's doing. He's got the right idea. He's rewinding and fast forwarding them. And that's a good thing. Listen to that. My tape is not doing as good as his tape is. And Ryan's pulling his tape out there. Mine is... That doesn't sound great. Let's pop it out and take a look. He's got Hocus Pocus there. And I have In Search Of.
The print date, once again, is May 17, 1995. It's a later pressing, but even now this is still a 1994 VHS once again. So just want to give you proof on that once again. So yeah.
So yeah, that's what I say too, Ryan. And he's going over these.
This has been a demonstration on my Silver Sunny VCR DVD combo, fast forwarding and rewinding my version 2 of the 1994 VHS of Hocus Pocus, in which this copy has the previews for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Cool. So that fella is got a VHS channel, and he does some of these tapes, and he's into like when they were put out and various rare information about them. So it's really kind of cool that people are into this. And I see he's got one of those Dazzle, those Pinnacle things. I had one of those. It doesn't work great, but he does. He post stuff from that, and it works. Now this is not sounding great. But we're just going to keep going with that. And meanwhile, I've got to change some strings. I've got a couple gigs coming up, which is good because I could use some gigs. I almost quit overnight in America's Most Haunted. Okay, dude. Yeah, note to the ghost hunting community on YouTube. Guys, like, the descriptions that you give are getting a little bit, like, stupid. Because it's like, I almost quit. This is so terrifying. Almost quit. It's like, dude, come on. We've seen it already. Like, let us know when you quit. Or shut the fuck up and, like, come up with something creative. You know? That's why a lot of these guys use AI, which causes a problem with the, you know, whether or not this is a real thing. If you're going to use AI for anything, people are going to assume that you're using it for everything. And don't use it for anything. To be honest with you shouldn't be using any AI. Fuck that.
society in this modern age that we're all realizing that everything our parents learned, our parents' parents have learned, and our current generation, and then our kids, have all been basically raised on a massive lie. And we don't really know how to react to it. In fact, we don't really exactly know what the next course of action is. What exactly do we do from here?
And honestly, keep all that stupid ass, generic ass advice. You can keep it, boo. Oh, just take it one day at a time. Yeah. What the? You thought I could skip Tuesday, bitch? Oh, just be yourself. Yeah. Who else the fuck can I be? I have no choice. Damn. Say something worth listening to. Call me back, please. Hey.
Oh. That one's my favorite so far.
This is what I was watching. It's people are fed up and just interested in everything now. And I like this person here is interesting. That's one of the YouTubers that I follow and watch, and I enjoy the videos that they put out. But like, people are disinterested and bored, and it like I feel it too. I feel like sometimes it's like I've got all this, things to entertain me, but like nothing entertains me. Like I go through a rack of CDs and I look at it and I go, I could just hear like what that one is. I don't want to listen to that. I don't feel like I'm not in the mood for that. I'm not in the mood for that. Sometimes you just like tune it all out because we're on overload at this point. I was talking to one of my cousins, and he used to listen to sports radio, talk in the car, or music and things like that on the way home. But now he's like, I don't listen to anything now. Just turn it off. I'm like, I can't listen to anything now. And I feel the same way. And I think a lot of people do, is that we're just fucking burnt, and it's looking for joy. And that's what I'm trying to find, is joy. And you can't find joy in the things that you used to find joy in. And that's like, I don't know if it's just me, but it sounds like a lot of other people are having this problem, where the things that used to bring them joy don't any longer, or are gone, Like I used to, I was thinking it was Friday a couple days ago, and I was like, hey, we used to go to a movie. Let's go to Applebee's and go to a movie. No. What kind of movie? It's not, the movies that they're releasing aren't the kind of movies I want to see. There's just it's just slop, and then you go to eat and it's just slop. It's just poisonous slop, and then it costs you so much money that it's like groceries for the next 3 weeks. So we don't go. We don't go out anymore. Don't go to dinner. Don't go to see a movie because it's too dumb. I could make a better movie in the parking lot of the theater with my fucking video camera than what I'm seeing now. And I'm not saying that I'm great. I'm just saying people suck. That's what I'm saying. I've got urban explorers on there. I like to watch them sometimes. I like this. I do enjoy decay and what it does to buildings and things like that. But speaking of decay, let's look at our VHS tape here. Let's see if it looks any better than it did when I put it in. Look at that. I don't see any mildewy stuff. And then I blow that out and just, but that looks like it might play, so let's see if it does. Alright, so this is our little Sharp CRT, and we're gonna use this VCR. This is a JVC SVHS VCR. Super VHS. This was the Honeymooners. This is where I taped some of those commercials that are pretty funny from 2000. Edgy. Alright, so let's see what that looks like.
They're calling this the defining feat of his presidency. Once the president finishes,
okay, that's from 1991. That's the State of the Union address for George W. Bush. Not George W. Bush. George H.W. Bush. How do you go from the 30s at night to 97 degrees during the day? in like a matter of just a couple days. I don't know. All right, so we're gonna transfer these. We've already transferred, and I've posted 2 of these. There's 3 tapes that Peter made that day. May 26, 1985, so that's 41 years ago. It's pretty amazing, but like, this was an incredible lineup. I don't think I went to this one. I did go to some Woodbury shows, Max Creek, Hot Tuna, Reggae Fest. I went to a few of them, but I don't think I went to this one. But it looks like an amazing show, and like I said, probably $20 ticket for the day. Beautiful, like a ski place, you know, on a hill, hanging out all day, drinking in the sun, you know, $20. Those were the days, I tell you, with legends, you know, 60s legends. The legendary Richard Manuel, who died, took his own life about a year later. Rick Danko, and then Michael Clark and Gene Clark of the Byrds. It's just amazing. So we're going to put the 3rd one in. This is tape 3. There's only like one side to this, but I got to rewind it. So I need to rewind it in another player. Magic. That's the Magic. Cassettes actually take a bit of time to rewind and fast forward. I think people who are starting to get into them, who hadn't been into cassettes before, are amazed at how long it takes to rewind and fast forward them. Use that time to think of good things. Don't get on your phone. That's the whole point of this. If you're going to get into cassettes, it's to get away from the technology that is surveillance technology. So that would be like, hey, don't get on your phone while you're waiting for your tapes to rewind, because that defeats the whole purpose of listening to tapes. Dummy. So we're going to put that in there. Hit record on the player. I think I've got it set up pretty much for optimal listening. It's Dolby B. I'm using actually Dolby on here. So we have a nice line up here. This is I'm not going to put that on this. Just the filler. That's just Neil Young's After the Gold Rush. But these are the live tunes, and I can't wait to hear the interviews with Nick Conley. Nick Conley is a friend of ours. I wonder what happened to Nick. I know his sister Rachel too. His sister Rachel dated Peter, who was the one who put this tape together and taped this. Interesting.